Why did Bitcoin dump today? Was it Gary's fault? Well, let's take a look. You can see right here, probably around 200 million longs wrecked. We had a long squeeze. Rather than a short squeeze, which is what we want to see, we had a long squeeze. Unfortunately, too many greedy people out there throwing on their 50 and 100x leverage. And all those people got wrecked this morning. And when you have massive liquidations like that happening at the same time, yeah, there's a ton of selling pressure. Okay, it's multiplied. So that definitely had something to do with what happened this morning. But really, no one should be playing with leverage because it ends up just wrecking everyone. The only people that win are the exchanges. Almost everyone I know, including myself, in the long run, they end up getting wrecked from liquidation. But who caused it? Who caused the initial selling to cause a short squeeze or long squeeze to happen? Was it due to Gary Gensler? Well, the government still has about 40,000 Bitcoins left to sell. This was confiscated from someone who stole it from the Silk Road site back in the day. So the government had 50,000, they sold 10,000, so they have 40,000 left. So people are wondering if they sold another 10,000. Maybe Gary said, sell, 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 let me punish those crypto guys for making me look like a fool. Couldn't answer whether or not Ethereum is a security or a commodity. But there's also another one that someone else picked up here, Skew. He picked up that someone sold 16,000 Bitcoins on Binance on the spot market. That's a lot of Bitcoins to be selling on the spot market. And the main reason was to stock up on USDT. Why is that? Why are they stocking up on stablecoins? Or do they think that something bad is going to happen? Or do they plan on using that USDT for something else? You know, we know recently a lot of meme coins started popping. Hopefully, they're not just feeling the FOMO and they want to buy and pump up some meme coins. Hopefully, that's not the case. But someone did sell a large amount on Binance Spot, and we don't know who that is. Maybe that is Gary. No, I don't think that was Gary. But that was probably the reason why it kind of started Bitcoin on its downward trend. Then we had a long squeeze, and that's why we fell down 1,000 points. But did we really dump, though? Did we really dump? You know, I exaggerated a little bit maybe with my title because, yeah, overnight 1,000 does seem like a lot, right? But when you start zooming out, you're like, barely noticeable, okay? This right here is a dump. This right here is a dump. This right here is like a blip. It's like a pothole. Volatility, actually, for Bitcoin is at a 9-month low, okay? Because these days, no one's really selling Bitcoin. There's not that much fear anymore. People are loading up and stocking up, and the long-term holders are not going away. They continue to DCA, and more people are coming in. So in reality, this dump was just a blip for Bitcoin on its way up to an all-time high. In fact, not only is volatility down, but the whales, people that have between 100 and 1,000 Bitcoin, they're loading up. They're loading up hugely. It tells you something, right? You got to look at what these guys are doing behind the scenes, not what they're saying. A lot of them will go on CNBC or go wherever and spew out their rhetoric or their garbage or their FUD. But what they're really doing behind the scenes is accumulating more. Actually looking at transaction count, I haven't seen this before, but too bad the price is not overlaid on here. Every time the transaction count goes above 320,000 to be exact, according to this analyst, Bitcoin goes on a crazy run. When transactions are really high through the roof, people are generally FOMOing at that time. We just hit that 320,000 mark. The last few times this has happened, Bitcoin went on a crazy run. You could see that peak back in 2017. That was when Bitcoin hit 20,000. Okay, and that was when Bitcoin broke through the 320,000K mark, right? And then the next time around was sometime in 2019. That was when Bitcoin shot up from 3,000 to 14,000, right? And now we're seeing the same thing happen again. If you're a trader, you may say, well, today it's just a nothing. It's supposed to do this. You're supposed to have a retest before you have a breakout. So that could explain it. Maybe we are just getting ready to break out into the 30s and 40s, right? But we just need a little breather. We just need a little retest of this previous support. Maybe that's all it is, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of things going on, but one thing is for certain, Bitcoin is going to continue on, and we will see a new high. It's just a matter of when, not if. Can it come as soon as this year? Because there's more and more arguments that are being made right now that Bitcoin could actually see a new high by the end of this year. We're not even talking about next year after having it. By the end of this year, Bitcoin could be above $70,000 already. That's why you want to be in the game. You don't want to miss out on it. Monetary inflation rate. This is interesting because we hear the term about hyperinflation, which happens everywhere around the world, especially the last few years, right? But this is the first time I've heard anyone say Bitcoin is experiencing hyper disinflation. It's true. That's what the halving event does. Halving event cuts down the inflation rate by half every 4 years until it gets to a point where there's basically no inflation at all. So you can say hyper disinflation. Again, one of the reasons why Bitcoin is so strong right now, why more people are turning to Bitcoin, is they want to protect their money, protect their buying power specifically, and not lose it to inflation over time. And then the last two things I saw, those of you guys in Australia, you're going to see more Bitcoin ATMs. Now, there's more Bitcoin ATMs in Australia than all of Asia, which is interesting. I'm starting to see them more and more. Whenever I visit malls and stuff, random places, I'm seeing Bitcoin ATMs all over the place. I'm not seeing that many people use them to buy Bitcoin, okay? But it's going to be good when we enter that bull run cycle, when everyone is FOMOing, everyone wants to get in. I bet then you're going to see a ton of Bitcoin at these Bitcoin ATMs, depositing all their money to buy some Bitcoin. Here's the funny thing. People rather buy Bitcoin at 69,000 than at 30,000. Just think about that. People will be flocking to these ATMs when Bitcoin reaches 69,000 and beyond. But right now, while you can still have it for less than half, those people are not there.